In the early 1950s, a decision was made to close the Barcelona homes, so developers began strategic real estate planning. They decided to lure African Americans into Pacoima by naming a newly designed housing tract after Joe Louis, who was a popular black world heavyweight champion boxer. He was highly recognizable by both the white and black community. Newspapers displayed the appearance that Joe Louis obtained zoning permits and had an active role in this property. However, his family claims the former boxer had no real estate ventures.
When they built Pacoima and they named it the Joe Louis Homes, Joe Louis ain't had nothing to do with it. That was the first black suburbs that they made, I say, in the country, because blacks all lived in the city. Only whites lived in suburbs. Not saying that they made one for blacks, but by giving it the name Joe Louis Homes, now who else is gonna buy a Joe Louis home? Okay, and that's who mostly bought the Joe Louis homes were all blacks.
The first houses that they built out here was for military personnel, ex-military personnel. It was because there was a GI Bill, it was a big deal then. And they wanted all the GIs to have a home then. They don't care now, but at that time, they wanted GIs to have homes.
As the Joe Louis housing tracts came to fruition, it brought in black buyers by the droves. African Americans from Los Angeles and other parts of the country began migrating to Pacoima.
There were long lines of people waiting to buy those houses. My uncle, J.B. Hodges, he bought one of the model houses. He couldn't wait.
What brought me there was my cousin. He said, "Hey, man, I'm moving. I want you to help me." No freeways at that time, so we had to come up all the way up San Fernando Road. And then we turned up Van Nuys Boulevard, and there was a big sign up there. It says, Joe Louis Homes. I said, "Man, why'd you tell me?" He said, "If I'd have told you, you'd have got the one before me." And I said, well, he said, I said, "How much these houses cost?" He said, $5,000. $5,000, Joe Louis tract.